Sorry about that, guys. Just checking something. But I wanted to come on here, and I think the title of this video says it best. WWE, most importantly, Vince McMahon, I should say, is trying to kill AEW before it gets a foot in the ground. Basically, they're trying to kill off AEW before it could make a foothold in the business. And you're probably wondering what I mean by that. Well, here's a crazy situation I think a lot of you should come to realize. You know, over the past week, if not the past 24 hours, well, going on 24 hours, it's about 3:50 now, Pacific time, in the afternoon. Basically, a lot of people have been talking about how bad Raw's been. How the ratings have been going into the ground. How NBC/Universal/Comcast is not thrilled with those ratings. How Fox, who's acquired SmackDown for this upcoming fall in October, is not too thrilled. How everybody is pointing to two central reasonings, if not one. Creative not knowing what they're doing, and Vince McMahon being off his frickin' rocker. And many other problems. Here's the thing. We can come on here, and there's a lot of us that do. But I think JD from NY said it best. And JD, congratulations on your commentary you did with Josh Matthews on Code Red. Or contribution, if you will. But here's what JD said. He said basically the same thing I've been saying as well. And I'll say it and I'll agree with him that our voices are not heard by WWE. Sometimes, if they're loud enough, they are. With good examples are basically the Yes movement from about 5 years ago. And if not recently, with the whole Viking experience. The War Raiders going and becoming the Viking experience, now they're the Viking Raiders. You get the idea of what I'm saying, right? There are certain times they will listen. There are examples of that. Excuse me. But there are examples of that. But, here's the thing. Our voices, besides that, are just whispers in the wind. I mean, the Lex Man came on here last night with a hashtag Raw cleanse video, the sequel as he calls it. And he could get in the face of his camera, and he can get into the face of his camera on his phone and be like, "What are you doing, WWE? What are you doing?" All he wants. He could do that. All he wants. But this is what WWE hears. They don't hear him yelling at them and they're going like, "Okay, Deluxe Man, we hear you. We'll do this. We'll change it." No, this is what they hear. They don't hear that. They don't hear him going like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" No, this is what they hear. This is all they hear. His yelling, his complaining could be so loud, and everybody would agree with him. But this is all WWE hears. Jason Solomon can be the same thing. He can get on his podcast, critique, complain, criticize, say all the same kind of stuff, and all WWE hears is, that's it. All our voices are sometimes, mostly, is whispers in the wind. And the reason I say this is because WWE knows what they're doing, even though we don't agree with it. They know probably what they're doing as far as the ratings are concerned, and they're probably having the the public relations people, the people that are in charge of the ratings, calling up NBC, Universal, and Comcast, and Fox, saying, "Hey, don't worry, we're going to get better, but you know we have a goal in mind, we have a strategy, we have a plan. Don't worry." And you're wondering what that plan is. Well, with any company, a chairman or a boss or a CEO always is going to have eyes and ears all over the place. And some of those eyes and ears when it comes to WWE for Vince McMahon are the kind that pay attention to what's happening outside the company. Especially when it concerns other promotions. So when one of those eyes and ears, if not many of them, hear that All Elite Wrestling is on the verge of making a deal, finalizing a deal with Turner Broadcasting System or stations, Turner Broadcasting Station or Turner Network Television, TNT, TBS, when many of those eyes and ears hear that, they converge in a meeting with Vince McMahon, tell him what's going to happen, and they have to, and together, as crazy as it sounds, they come up with a solution. And what's that solution? Basically try to make the worst programming possible, which could affect the ratings, even though some say ratings don't matter. So that way, some of those eyes and ears that might have a foothold, if not many footholds, if not influences in the television business, and know about all the ratings and stuff and what have you, basically, by putting on the product that we're getting, they know from reading what they're researching and reading what they're hearing, and reporting that back to Vince McMahon, they know that it's going to make it harder from what people are reporting, and a lot of places are reporting this, Forbes, Variety, Sports Illustrated, people inside the business, everybody is saying that as long as the ratings start declining even more so, and crazy as it sounds, this is all part of WWE's strategic plan, and you know what? If it is, Vince McMahon is exactly what he says he is, a genius. Because none of us see this, but I do. The plan basically is to make the ratings so bad, make the programming so bad, that not only do the viewership and the ratings drop, but they're doing so because they're hoping that that'll be enough of an influence that TBS and TNT will be like, nope, All Elite Wrestling, we don't want nothing to do with you. You're going to have to find another home. Nope, sorry. And then once that happens, what does All Elite Wrestling have? What? YouTube? Twitch? Huh? And it's that Fight TV? Ruco? What do they have? I mean, those are all good options. But what other possibilities do they have? Syndication? Okay, fine. Good. But it's not big of a deal. What do they have? Looking at sub-minor national cable companies? Like, what? Discovery America? Or We TV? Crazy as that sounds. Or what? I mean, what options do they have? You know what I'm saying? They don't have many options if they lose this deal. And that's what WWE is hoping for. You think they're doing this because the creative doesn't know what they're doing, because Vince is a senile old man that needs to step away? That might be all true facts. That might be all true facts, but the truth of the matter is, behind the scenes, there's someone that's in Vince's ears, many people probably, that have a foothold, if not many influential footholds, in the television business, know about the ratings, know how it could affect other kind of programming trying to get deals, or television deals, and they're probably influencing Vince to do this so that AEW does not get that television deal, so that AEW does not become a threat. That's the truth of the matter. You think I'm just overthinking things, overanalyzing things? Okay, fine, that's your opinion. But come on, guys, think about it. There are reports that state that because many reports, go Google them if you want to. Go to CagesideSeats.com. Go to RingsideNews.com. Go to PW Insider. Go to anywhere. Google it. And they will tell, and you will see that the same report, if not many different kinds of reports on, with the same information, maybe added details here and there, come up. And that is, the low ratings the WWE is getting, the declined viewership that they're getting, could affect AEW's deal. WWE knows what they're doing. They know they have the potential to put on a good product behind the scenes and all that. They know that. They've proven it. They have proven it. But the reason this is happening now is because they don't want, more importantly, Vince McMahon, who has his eyes and ears in the television business, letting him in on what's going on, does not want AEW to get that deal. Because they know if AEW gets that deal, even if the show is on a night that doesn't affect WWE for some time, even though there are reports that Fox could potentially move SmackDown Live back to Tuesdays after a while, WWE doesn't want any kind of competition whatsoever. Because think about this. You're Vince McMahon. You're in a meeting in the fall, and you notice that you have a huge decline on Raw, ratings-wise and viewership-wise. But then all of a sudden, the next night, that viewership and ratings that you lost all suddenly went up for your competition. Even though your competition is on a night that doesn't threaten you. You think Vince wants that? He doesn't. He doesn't. And what everybody says about Vince McMahon is right. He's the kind of guy that has the money that, despite the fact that the Khan family, the people that own the Jacksonville Jaguars, the ones that are backing Cody and the Young Bucks and all of them up to make this company a reality, even though they have the money to do so, they don't have the influence Vince does. They don't have the eyes and ears in the overall entertainment and sports business as far as knowing what ratings can do and how they can affect other programming and stuff. They don't have that. He does. So you can't tell me that there's not a real that the real legit reasoning is not just because they don't know what they're doing, not just because they fired the lead head writer on Raw, which some would think is a blessing. It's not because any of that. It's not just because any of that, I should say. It's not just all that. It's the fact that whether we want to admit it or not, there's a reasoning for this. And that reasoning is basically they don't want AEW to get their deal with either TBS or TNT. They don't. And they're doing whatever they can to make sure that happens. They're probably calling up, they probably have the PR people, the television production people or whatever, calling up NBC Universal and NBC/Universal/Comcast and Fox and /Fox Sports and saying, look, we get you guys are angry, but this is the reason we're doing it. And don't worry, we'll be back to a more stabilized, more viewership, more enticing, more intriguing, more invested product that people want. We're just doing this right now because of this. And it's like, and when you think about this, yeah, you could say it's kind of stupid for them to risk, the risk their deals that they currently have, the new deals that they have with USA and Fox. But if they have people on the inside calling up these networks and telling them, hey, don't worry, we're going to fix things, we're going to make things better, we're just doing this because of this reasoning, then I guess in a way Vince McMahon is a genius. He may not be a genius as far as creative storyline and booking goes, or being supportive of certain men and women that compete in the ring, but as far as making sure he's the top guy, he has the top business, he's the only wrestling company in town, he has a way, he finds a way. So yeah, as crazy as it sounds, like this title says, WWE/Vince McMahon are trying to kill AEW before they get a real foothold. And the way they're trying to kill them is to make sure they don't get those deals. Because everybody has said it. If one wrestling company isn't doing so well on one network, then other networks that are potentially in the bid to bring wrestling programming onto their networks may decide, hey, we don't want nothing to do with wrestling. I know it sounds like, again, I'm overanalyzing. But you can't, overthinking this, but you can't blame me. You guys can't blame me. Think about that. Think about this. Think about it. Let's say Vince achieves his goal. AEW doesn't get their deal. Guarantee you might see an improvement on Raw. You might see it. Think about it this way. Raw did good for a while. Everybody was saying, hey, Raw's pretty good. You know why? It was pretty good for a while? Because they had momentum, and they wanted to keep that momentum. Okay, fine. They had a bit of momentum coming off from a pay-per-view or whatever, or a certain week, and they wanted to keep that momentum. Okay. Here's the thing. You say that. You say that. But there have been other times where Raw's been good. And you know when those times have been? When there was never any acknowledgement that a company like AEW was going to get a major deal. Never. There was never any threat about that happening. And now it is. You don't think it's a coincidence? I do. And again, I could be overanalyzing, I could be overthinking, but guys, think about it. If they could cause AEW not to get their deal with TBS or TNT, and they have to settle with a smaller tier or medium-sized tier cable channel and network that maybe not many people get, they win. So again, Vince may not creatively and bookingly and be supportive of certain men and women that he should be that compete in his ring, like everybody believes he should, even those behind the scenes. Even though creatively and bookingly, everybody behind the scenes believes he needs to step away, just like the fans and the insiders and podcasters and all think he needs to do. That might be true. But when it comes to trying to be the top guy behind the scenes, like television-wise, rating-wise, and all that, Supreme-wise, being the only wrestling giant king in town, he's going to do whatever it takes behind the scenes to make sure that happens. So, but yeah, that's the way I look at it. Let me know what you guys think, though. Comment down below. Talk to y'all later.